Happy Sunday. In your quest to build your clan, your posse, your firm, your organization, your club, you are going to endure roadblock after roadblock. But one of the most important roadblocks to focus on are your interactions with people and the way that they will be time wasters and they will fake it just to be part of, your idea, or to gobble up info, or just to actually waste their time and waste yours. I like to call my new methodology eyes and actions, because that's what I watch when I'm dealing with people now. I don't care about what they say. All I care is what the eyes tell me, my intuition, when I look at them, and their action, their body language, and then the things that they actually go out and do after, they're saying all these things. They may say this or say that, but are they really going to do what they say? Are they really going to research topics? Are they really going to, set up a actionable plan day and spearhead all those things on that list? If we work with people, we want to work with people that are on our level or above us, from my perspective. When we're friends with people, we want to be friends with people that resonate with us, in a real sense, not a, oh yeah, shake your head, and they really don't resonate with you. They're just there maybe because, I don't know. A long time ago now, I decided that I wasn't gonna do this, I guess you would call it like a fake acquaintance, fake friend thing, because it's a time waster. I have a child now. If you have a child and you have time to waste, then you need to be thinking about your parenting structure, or like your responsibilities as a parent, because I can't think of time that I have to waste with a kid. Even when my son's sleeping, I don't have time to waste, because that's my time. That's me and my partner's time. So I got to spend time with my partner and enjoy the fruits of being in a great relationship. But, back to the topic at hand. You're going to come into these problems. You're going to deal with people. They're going to say things, and they're going to say they want to ride with you, and they're going to say that they want to help you, and they're going to say that they want to be part of the team. But you're really going to have to look at them with these, eyes and actions, with this eyes and actions formula, I guess is what you want to call it, because, we don't have time to waste. I like to call it, middle school or high school relationships. When you're growing up and when you're trying to learn who you are and you're trying to analyze the world and you really don't know who you are yet, and, you have all these people in your life and you don't really know how to, or most, children don't really, they don't have the mindset or the time or the, or the experience to sit there and analyze and judge as an adult should. Not all adults do, but as an adult should. And so you're gonna have these hit and miss situations. But when you get older and you have people depending on you, you can't make as many mistakes with, as far as wasting your time with people. Link up with people that see eye to eye with you. Link up with people who, when you look in their eyes, what they say is congruent with what their eyes show you. When you watch their actions, are their actions congruent with what's coming out of their mouth and with what their eyes are telling you? I'm not saying focus on what's coming out of their mouth. I'm just saying that you could find, try and find congruency between those things. Try and find congruency between what their eyes tell you and what it is that they're actually physically doing. Watch their interactions with other people. That's important. What people do to other people will tell you a lot about what they will do to you, especially if they're upset with other people. That's why when I'm upset with other people, I just leave them alone. I used to get mad and gossip with my friends and belly aching and acting like a kid. And this is when I was an adult, you know, because you have to grow. You have to grow up. You know, it's like I always say, these videos are 99% of the time I'm saying something about, you know, a situation I've been in where I've made mistakes. I've made these mistakes before that I'm talking about, you know, and they cost me. But now I'm in a different position. I'm in a different mindset. I'm in a different level as far as, like, you know, who I want to be. You know, the closer I get to my goal of being a visionary, a wise man, you know, someone that can, you know, assist my son in becoming a, you know, adult that can take care of himself. You know, I've unlocked the keys to, you know, figuring out how to not deal with people that I don't like, you know, and that's pretty much what it comes down to. You know, are you gonna have to bend and twist, as I've said before? Sure, but that's a personal thing. You know, what I may bend and twist for, someone else may not bend and twist for. What they may bend and twist for, I may not bend and twist for. It's personal. But, you know, we all have to ask ourselves, when is enough enough? You know, when are we, you know, tired? Even if we can benefit from being around someone, you know, maybe they give us some gags, you know, maybe we can make some money dealing with them. But at what point do you ask yourself, why am I being fake? Why am I trying to get over on people? Why am I here if I really don't care about this person? What am I doing with my life? Is this the kind of life that I want to have, where I'm, you know, not this genuine person within myself? You know, ask yourself this. Because that's the thing. I don't think bad people ask themselves those kind of questions. I think bad people just do what they do. You know, if you want to be a good person, I think good people are asking themselves, like, hey, why am I lying? Why am I being a fake? Why am I acting like I want to be part of this, you know, business? Why am I acting like I like this job rather than starting my own business or going and getting a job that I like, or researching and improving myself so I can go out and get a job that's going to make me, you know, happy the rest of my life, or get in a field that even if I lose my job or get laid off or whatever, I'm going to be doing something that I love the rest of my life, and it's going to put me in a mindset where I can go home and be with my family every day and have a smile on my face and love my partner and love my kids, and, you know, and go through life, you know, smooth sailing. What's it going to take? You know, a lot of us don't ask ourselves these questions. A lot of us just, you know, skate on by, play the games, act like everybody else. You know, everyone else is a fake. Everyone else is putting on a show. Everyone else is coming here and acting like they love being here. So why don't I just do that? Why don't I just be fake? Why don't I just, you know, say things to people that I really don't mean, and, you know, and hope that they don't have intuition enough or wisdom enough to be able to, you know, figure out that I'm just a fraud. You know, we need to quit, you know, and I learned this in business school back in the day. And what my instructor said is, and I translate this over into my personal life: don't treat the customer like they're stupid. Treat the customer like they're dotting all their I's, they're crossing all their T's. They know your business better than you. They've investigated you. They've investigated your business. They've investigated all of your competition. You know, treat them like they're like the all-seeing eye. You know? And that's the way that I like to treat people that I deal with. Sometimes they don't deserve it. I'm not, you know, and they trust me, I know when they don't deserve it. But I'm not here to, like, you know, and I told my partner this a long time ago, I'm not here to raise adults. You know, several years ago, you know, I'll give you a little, you know, dabble of, you know, reality here. Several years ago, I clipped my best friend out of my life. And ever since then, I just been, you know, I've been on a level of, you know, I'm not trying to raise anybody. I got a kid. I'm not trying to tell people how to treat me. I'm not trying to argue with you and get you on the same level as me and all sort of stuff. It's either we resonate with each other or we don't. It's that simple. I got a son to raise. I got somebody to chase around and make sure they're doing everything right. What do I look like doing it for adults? You know, if you want to talk to me about fitness, if you want to talk to me about, martial arts, if you want to talk to me and you're and I'm mentoring you or I'm helping you and you're beneath me, great. But my friends, people that are supposed to be on my level, just kind of done with that. Did that in my 20s, got burnt out from it. Hey, somebody else, I got other friends, they love dealing with all that stuff. Hey, no knock on them. As I've always said, I share my ideas. I don't share everyone else's ideas. Am I knocking your ideas? Nope. I'm not going to clown anyone's ideas. If you have an idea that's different from mine, great. But I share what I think on here, and that's what I think. I'm done, patting people on the butt. I'm done patting people on the head. And, that's what I'm telling you today. Watch people's eyes and actions. Forget what they're saying. Surround yourself with people that make you feel that intrinsic, I trust this person. I can rely on this person. And if you're a person that loves having acquaintances in your life, bravo. And that's great. Hopefully that works out for you. But, if they're acquaintances, just make sure that they're not time wasters, and just make sure that they're not someone that you are spending this time with that you could be spending doing something else with someone better. Happy Sunday.